Hey Ryan,
Hey, man.
are you ready to record the episode?
What?
You ready to record the episode?
Oh, right, that thing we do. Yeah. I was just playing Silksong, sorry.
Okay, you had me worried there for a second.
Hey, Ben.
Hey Ryan.
What's going on with you?
Not much because I haven't bought Silksong yet. But I'm gonna guess it's gonna be our starting topic.
Yeah, it's probably going to be our starting topic. I did, in fact, buy it.
All right. Holy crap! It's finally out. We can
I
finally
know.
talk about it.
7 years. I also have anime news for you.
And okay,
Yeah.
I'm ready for the anime news.
I don't know. You may have already heard part of it, but the other part you definitely haven't. I'm almost certain.
Okay, let's go. Let's get this anime news out of the way.
You want to get the anime news out of the way first?
Yeah,
Okay,
that'll
cool,
be our
cool, cool.
starting topic. It's gonna be the episode, and you'll have it in parentheses. Also, Silksong.
No, the starting topic is going to be Silksong. I'll just tell you the anime news. It's short.
Okay.
Jujutsu Kaisen Season 3 is coming out soon.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yay!
I knew you'd be happy about it.
I'm pretty happy about that. I like Jujutsu Kaisen. That show's pretty good.
They're continuing the manga.
Okay. Oh, and I get to finally see the thing that you're like, okay.
No, that's not for this season. That'll be a few seasons.
No. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, sorry. The thing that I tell you about that I'm like, I think this is going to be your favorite moment in the whole show, that I think is going to happen this season.
Okay, that's great.
The part where it kind of goes to shit, that happens later.
We should all get together and watch it with Mike and everyone.
Oh, I'd be down. That'd be fun.
Because Sam really likes it. We can do it for movie night. We just watch Jujutsu Kaisen instead of doing our normal
I would
movie
love
night.
to do that to our friend Jake. Our friend Jake, who famously hates anime.
Well, I'm also a famous anime hater, so there you go.
Yeah,
All you
but
got to do is convert him with some good shows.
He's been true to his form.
He has been very true to his form.
But yeah, that's the anime news. We'll get out of that. That's just done.
While we're shouting out our friends, shout outs to the usual Alex and Eric, and now our producer who had to help us set up this episode because we couldn't get our sound working.
Wow, I can't believe you forgot Elijah, our one Spotify listener.
Sorry, Elijah, our one Spotify listener. I'm really glad you're listening to our podcast.
That is now his title, or Elijah, our one Spotify listener.
I don't know if she's going to listen to it, but I'm going to send this episode to our producer's girlfriend because she plays Silksong. Or she plays Hollow Knight. It's one of her favorite games. Got her into Metroidvanias. It allowed me to get her into Metroid. I'm like, here, play this.
Also, you kind of shot my thought process in the head with that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You went much longer than I was expecting, which isn't like your fault. I just didn't know you were going to keep talking. That's the whole point.
That's what happens to me every single time. I got this idea in my head, and I'm like, I've just got to remember it and not interrupt people.
I got back. Mike listened to our last episode. We had one more for a temporary time.
I don't think he's going to... Well, he might listen to this one. Did he like the last one?
He did seem to like it, but he also said, you should listen to the next one. He said no. I think if we ever do another war report on a Twilight Imperium game, he'll be back.
All right. Well, let's not beat around the bush anymore. We need to talk about Hollow Knight Silksong.
We need to talk about Hollow Knight Silksong. Okay, so Ben, you are unique in this little arrangement of ours.
I am purposely waiting a little bit. I don't plan on waiting super long, but I'm going to get Silksong. I'm going to play it. It's guaranteed because Mike already bought it for me.
Yes, he told me he was planning on doing that for you.
Well, and by bought it for me, I mean he burst into my room and shoved a crumpled $20 bill into my hand, and then he said, "Hey, I just bought you Silksong, so now you have to go get it."
Yep.
That was actually before the $20 price tag was announced too.
Was it?
Yeah. The $20 price thing was only announced a few days ago.
He probably thought it was going to be 15.
No, he knew it was going to be 20 because there was a rumor. I guess there was a leak on some website, storefront website.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, 20 is also crazy for this game.
It's fucking insane. Have you seen the stat about concurrent Steam numbers?
I don't need to see I literally don't need to.
It's over 500,000.
I couldn't buy the game for an hour. Actually, the only way I was able to buy the game on Steam, because I was at work when it came out.
Yeah.
So I was on my phone, and I was trying to just get it on my phone and have it remotely downloaded to my computer.
This is one of the reasons why I already plan on waiting, just so I wouldn't have to deal with this fucking shit.
So what I ended up having to do is go through Humble Bundle.
Oh, wow. Humble Bundle? That's an
Yeah.
interesting choice.
Well, I have Humble Choice, which is not a sponsor, but that's a great deal if you haven't heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
You get like 5 or 6 free games, like literally free, that you own and add to your Steam account every month.
It is a valuable storefront.
And because I have Humble Choice and I bought it on that platform,
Okay.
I got a discount. And because it's a Steam key that I bought as opposed to buying it on Steam, Silksong Team Cherry got more of my money.
That is... So, that's what I'm saying.
Winning.
500,000 on Steam alone, at least.
I can't even imagine.
That's
how many
just on day
Switch.
one.
How many on Switch is going to be crazy?
Yeah, and they sold it. So, how much do you think people would have paid for Silksong?
I would have paid $50.
Would you have paid 60? If they said it's going to be 60, would you have been like, I'm going to pay 60?
Yeah, well, yeah, but I don't think that's a fair comparison because I would have probably paid almost anything for this because
I think a lot of
fan.
people. I think a lot of people would have paid almost anything for this. I think if they had said it was a fucking $90 game, people would have only gotten more excited because they would have been like, oh, this game might be worth $90 because that's how their fucking fever dream has been working.
I would not me personally. My cap is probably $60. I think if you go 70 or higher, I'm just pirating it.
Fair enough, but
because I totally get the idea that it could be worth $1 million. It's not that they get to decide the worth though. I do. I'm the one who makes the value.
I am not talking about you. I am talking about them. I am talking about Team Cherry literally just leaving this money on the table when they priced it at $20.
Well, they knew. Well, I don't think it is leaving the money on the table, because with it being $20 and it having the most hype of like any game in the past like 10 years, I can't think of another one that was this hyped.
Elden Ring. Elden Ring was the only other game I can think of that was this hyped.
Elden Ring did not break Steam though.
Didn't it?
No, because I bought it day one. I bought it and played it day one on a whim. I wasn't even sure I was gonna, and then I bought it, played it, and then I was like, okay, cool. I could not fucking pay for this. I had to go through a third party.
Oh my god. I'm just saying, yeah. I talked before about like fake indie games, and I'm like, no, Silksong is a real indie game. It was developed by 3 people. The original Hollow Knight was funded through Kickstarter, and now Silksong was funded through the money they made off of Hollow Knight.
And they made all of the money on Hollow Knight.
You watched the YouTube series No Clip? It's like a documentary. They did one on Dwarf Fortress recently, and I'm wondering if the story behind Team Cherry is like the Dwarf Fortress team, where they literally did just sit there and just develop the game for years. You know, that's just all they did until suddenly the game came out and they get this shitload of money in.
I don't know. I'm not so to contrast your point earlier. You haven't played it yet. I fucking have.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
I have been. I've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
Did you want me to wait on my point?
Oh no! I want you. I'm also not afraid of spoilers or anything like that.
I don't plan to spoil it. There isn't much to spoil at the moment. I don't really need to.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so.
Because I have only been playing it for about 7 hours at this point. Because I played it when I got off work yesterday, and then kind of in the light, and I played it a little bit this morning.
But there's 7 hours in your in-game time clock.
I think it's 7.1, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I would show the viewers, but I would reveal that it's not actually on my Steam Deck.
Yeah, we faked the gag.
We faked the gag. I'm sorry. I can't help but be honest.
Okay.
I'm enjoying it so far a lot. What I'm noticing differences to Hollow Knight, mostly in movement, actually.
Yeah.
The way that she moves Hornet moves is totally different than the Hollow Knight of old legend. She's a lot more fluid and fast, and I just unlocked the ability to run, which kind of changed the dynamic of the game in a way I didn't think it was going to.
Okay, this is a very weird question, but how does the running work?
You hold a button,
like Mario.
Yeah, it's kind of no, because Mario running you have to do it a specific way, don't you?
Mario's like a gas pedal where you hold it until you reach your max speed, and you release it to slow down, but there's an acceleration period, there's a deceleration period, and you kind of toggle it a little bit as you move to have good control.
It's not
over
really
Mario.
that. It's more there's that acceleration period is less than a second.
Okay.
And you basically just burst into running. You're sprinting, and then you can also use
press the
jump.
button or do you hold the button?
Hold it.
Okay, interesting.
And then you use this to jump and get to places. It's also your dash. One thing of note, this does not have Hornet does not have invincibility frames, at least for the moment for me.
Neither did Hollow Knight.
Hollow Knight 100% did, until you unlocked it at least. But
what do you mean?
You unlocked the invincibility frames when you got the dash.
You literally have to unlock it. It's like a late game upgrade.
Well, I didn't know. Well, I haven't played Hollow Knight in a minute. But that's not. They don't have that, or Hornet doesn't have that. And there's a particular boss that I had to not fight because I don't think I can do it without that.
I mean, that's a big one of the things I really liked about Hollow Knight's combat. It's like no iframes. Because iframes are something you need a lot more in 3D games because it's just so much harder to control. But like a game like Hollow Knight or a Metroidvania, you should be able to dodge a boss by jumping over the attacks or moving around him. You shouldn't have to, phase through anything.
This particular enemy is imposing enough to where, in my head, I think that I'm gonna need more to do it.
Get good, scrub.
Because like one slash of their weapon takes up like the entire screen. So if I'm on this side, I either need to be away from it and then need to get past them somehow, which they're really big, so jumping over them is not really an option, or I just need to be on the other side the whole time. So I don't know. I've been enjoying the crap out of it. There's a particular thing that I love, which is that I unlocked, which is the ability to go up like wind streams.
Ooh.
And the way that Hornet does it is that her dress like opens.
Oh, like one of those
like kind of like Peach.
There's also like literally a type of bug that does that. I think it's a type of spider, like a parachute spider or something.
Oh, maybe
like that.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, and when she goes up, it's like nimble and nice, like boo. And then when she has to like fall, it's just like boo.
That's cute. I love that.
It's great. Like it's on her neck, and so her body is just dangling, and she's just like so funny. I wish I had brought a picture of it.
I mean, you want to look it up? We have the.
I don't. I do
screen.
not. The reason I do not is because I'm inconfident I'll be able to find it, and then it will take too long.
We just waste 10 minutes of the podcast Googling and trying to find the correct videos and everything.
Another thing that I've been noticing that I'm really into, in contrast to Hollow Knight, is the theming.
How do you mean the theming?
So, like, for example, in Hollow Knight, your currency was just like a thing. It was just a geo.
Yeah, they were supposed to be like little like bug shells, like dead
stones,
bug shells and
maybe.
stuff like that.
I'm not sure. I don't think they were bug shells. I think they were stones, but they definitely looked like bug shells.
It looked like a little ammonite shell, you know? I think they were supposed to be like ancient arthropod.
They might have been.
Fossils.
I'm not sure. I really don't know. But in this game, they're prayer beads.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So beads.
Like the whole process of this one is that like the opening of the game. Spoiler warning.
Yeah, actually, no. What is the story of this? Because the only thing I know about it is that it's going to star
Hornet,
the rival character from Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
Does it take place in Hallow Nest?
No.
So it's a different setting entirely.
Mm-hmm. Hornet is, I believe, captured by some zealots from a far-off land. She's brought to through a long journey in a cage, and then she is released from the cage. And now she's in this new land trying to make her way and get through. And the place she needs to get to is a giant citadel, because this is a very religious and holy area, apparently.
Ooh, this sounds very cool.
Like the town that you'll find, because they have the town in Hollow Knight, and there's a town here.
Yeah.
It's actually like a rest stop for pilgrims on their way to the citadel.
That's so good.
Yeah. And so what you're looking for are prayer beads everywhere. When you defeat like certain enemies, not like monster enemies, but like humanoid enemies, you get prayer beads out of it.
Do they still do the Dark Souls mechanic where you lose them if you die? Because that was probably the weakest aspect in the original Hollow Knight.
Yeah. I think they still. What do you mean by lose?
Okay, so in Hollow Knight, if you died, you lost all of your geo, and then you'd have to kill your shade in order to get it back, because they were trying to do the Souls mechanic thing.
They do kind of have that, but I believe, I don't know if this is a thing I just have, but I believe the way it works is that your shade is cocooned. So like it's the same concept, but instead of having to fight a thing and kill it, there's just like a cocoon there.
You just grab it like a
you
blood
just smack
stain.
the cocoon, exactly. Yeah.
I like the fighting the shade thing was always kind of a weak aspect. Some people just got really pissed because, I just got accidentally killed by my shade, or I jumped in, or I can't get to my shade because it's hovering over a pit of spikes or something like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it didn't really bother me when I played it, to be honest, so I didn't know that was even like a criticism.
Well, it didn't bother me because, like, the geo didn't matter. It wasn't Souls experience. It wasn't Souls, like in Dark Souls, where it's your experience and currency. It's just currency. You only need it for a few things that are essential, and they also have that system where you get those
You get the things. You get
the non-losable things that you sell to that guy, which you do anytime you need to buy anything.
In this game, they're literally rosaries.
Mm-hmm.
You can get rosaries.
That's so great.
Isn't it great? The theming's great. And it's the same kind of beginning of Hollow Knight, where you kind of in this area you get to get out and you unlock the town, then you start looking around at new people. The map person in this I love.
Oh yeah, I
It's
love the map guy from the before.
I loved him because he was great. I loved it when you finally unlock the whole map and he's just sleeping.
His weirdly tall and sexy bug wife.
Yes. Well, we just skip out the guy. It's now just a weirdly sexy tall bug wife.
Look, yay!
She's like a warrior. She uses rings to fight, and every time you walk up, she's singing.
And she makes a map?
Yeah, she's just that's part of her. She's like a monk, and that's part of her her beliefs is that you got to map the area out. You got to keep using your mind.
I love that. I love that so much.
Hornet speaks, which I love, because in the original Hollow Knight never talked. He didn't. He was just a silent protagonist. Hornet ain't. Hornet will just talk, and she's very eloquent because she's a princess. I think. I don't know. I believe she's a princess.
I don't know if she's an adopted princess or if she is just because she in the lore of the lore of Hollow Knight. What's it called? The dark area where the spiders are from.
I don't know.
Oh god.
Dark Nest?
It's not called Dark Nest, is it?
I
knew the name and it just suddenly dropped out of my. I hate having ADHD.
Listen, you just keep talking and I'll look it up.
Well, there's 3 figures that you have to get their blessing or whatever in the story of Hollow Knight in order to open up the big cocoon that leads to the final boss, leads to the true Hollow Knight, because spoilers for Hollow Knight, you don't actually play as the Hollow Knight, you play as just a vessel.
You play as a guy.
As a guy.
Is it the spider tribe?
Yeah, well, the spider tribe, what's the area called?
Deep Nest.
Deep Nest, thank you.
Yes.
One of the best areas of the entire game. My only problem with it is that it doesn't have a big boss at the end. And I think that might have been on purpose. Mm-hmm. Just thoughtful design. If you're going to do something like trap a player in a ridiculously stressful and difficult area that they can't get out of, you don't want to also force them to fight a giant boss in order to get out of that.
Yeah, that'd be very annoying.
Metroid Fusion does a similar thing in Sector 2. You get lost and you just keep on going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, but the boss that you fight is really easy. It's, much easier than the first boss. This would be the second one, you know?
Oh, every boss I fought has been pretty decent, except for the first and the fourth, I think?
How many bosses have you fought so far?
I want to say total of 4.
Okay.
But I don't know if you're counting... What also has happened is I've been trapped in rooms and had to fight, waves of people. And those actually get me more than any boss, usually, because it's just several different bugs with different abilities that I have to focus on all at the same time, and that's I find difficult. The bosses so far, I think I haven't finished fighting the one that I was telling you about with the giant swing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't finished that fight, but every other fight has been fairly easy, to be honest.
Have they been cool?
They have been cool. Yeah.
Describe me the first boss.
First boss, I think it's the Moss Mother.
That's a great name. I love that.
I don't remember them very well because I beat them in one. Want to look it up? Can look up the Moss Mother from Silksong and then you can get a look.
I forgot I had the keyboard in front of me.
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a good design.
That's what they look like.
Oh my god, shout out to the artist of Team Cherry for being so good at just coming up with such a simple and pleasing. What's the word I'm looking for?
Cutesy?
I just love them. They are appealing. They are appealing designs.
Yeah, they're great, man. They look every enemy. I don't know if there's even the grotesque ones in Hollow Knight when you get to the Deep Nest. Even those ones are still really dope as hell looking.
Mm-hmm.
There's such good art in this game. Yeah, I've been enjoying it so far. I have to continue playing it. I did get to I did have a thing happen to me where I in real life where I just needed to nap. When I was playing it, which I think is a result of my own problems, but you know.
You mean you literally got drained? I'm I need to rest.
Yes. I don't think it was the game. I think that was just my life, but that ended up happening.
So, predictions for this game.
I have a few.
Where you're at, compared to the first Hollow Knight, how big do you think this is going to end up being?
I have, honestly, one note, this has felt a little less like a Metroidvania so far.
How do you mean?
It's been a very linear, which I think the original Hollow Knight was fairly linear too.
Well, so The first Hollow Knight, it keeps everything very linear. There's not even many dead end paths. Like the Forgotten Roads is a nice circle loop where you just go around clockwise.
Yeah.
And then that leads you to the Green Path, which is, again, pretty straightforward. There's a lot of stuff you can't get to because you don't have double jump yet, but then you get double jump when you beat Hornet.
Yeah, well, this is kind of like that. Like, it's just felt more linear to me, but also I haven't played Hollow Knight in a while, so I'm thinking maybe I'm just, like, not getting there. But I haven't made it to the Citadel. My theory is that once you get to the Citadel, this is basically anywhere the game just kind of balloons.
You think it's going to be... Because in Hollow Knight, again, you go fairly linear through, like, 4 different areas, which are pretty straightforward, and then it opens up once you get that the wall climbing ability from the Mantis area. Yeah. You don't have to fight the Mantis Lords. They're optional, but you get that one item, and from there that lets you go to City of Rain, or whatever it's called, the City of Tears.
I'm not going to remember.
It's the big central city in Hollow Knight, and it's such a fucking amazing setting. Great soundtrack, the rain atmosphere. It's so good.
I love the spikes on every single thing. Just for, I love it just because it is just for cool.
It is just for cool. But actually, that's one of the things I don't like about Hollow Knight. Because when we talk about like Metroidvanias and Metroid in particular, Hollow Knight does the thing where it's like, okay, well, it's just open.
Yeah.
We're not going to like try to guide you in any particular area. We're just going to let you explore at your own pace. And you've got like about 4 different places that are all technically correct. Sure. You will eventually need to get that one ability to smash downward through floors. And you're going to need to get that ability that lets you blast super fast in one direction to get across big gaps.
Yep.
But then after that, you're just, mopping up, doing a 100% completion kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You're just exploring everything at that point. And that isn't the thing I love about Metroidvanias is the picking apart a knot kind of thing, where I'm trying to solve it as a puzzle, less than just exploring an open area. Like, the best Metroidvanias feel like a giant Zelda dungeon, if that makes any sense.
I understand what you're trying to say, yeah. So you're more interested. You don't want to explore as much as get.
I do.
Well, okay. You don't want to explore as much as get the thread good.
What I want is for at least one game to do what Super Metroid did.
Okay.
Just one other game besides Super Metroid to finally do what Super Metroid did, and then I would just be happy. I would know that it's not just like this lightning in the bottle miracle, but we'll get into that one day.
I mean, like today, I'm pretty sure. But
no,
whatever.
We're not going to get into it today.
Okay.
It's a long thing. It's going to have a lot of build-up. Symphony of the Night's awesome, but it doesn't do what Super Metroid did, and most Metroidvanias just do what Symphony of the Night did, which is just, let it be open and just basically make it into a limited open world, as you described it in our last episode.
That's what I like, though.
Yeah,
I'm into that. I'm having fun. That's the kind of shit that I'm so excited for, because I love just exploring every inch of the whole map. That's one of the things I loved about Breath of the Wild when it first came out. I played it, and I was having fun, but the thing that I was having the most fun with was literally just going to places and finding stuff. I'd be like, oh, there's a Korok. I'll do that real quick. Oh, there's look at this giant rock formation. This is so cool.
Well, I was thinking it's like the classic, like, puzzle dungeon thing, that pulling apart knot scenario. Mm-hmm. Nintendo was the company that did those, and they did those in the form of Zelda dungeons. But we've had 2 of the past Zelda games had the longest development times of any Zelda games ever, and neither of them had like real classic Zelda dungeons.
No.
So there is an audience that is like fucking starved for that right now.
Oh yeah, I can see that point.
And I'm curious how Silksong is going to play out.
There's also just not really anyone making Zelda-like games anymore.
So there was a low-key Zelda game that had more classic dungeons, but it wasn't like not the traditional like Ocarina of Time style dungeons, but that Zelda Echoes of Wisdom I personally really enjoyed, even though it was a very, very kiddie game.
Is that the game that you're talking about? I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Which that?
Is the Echoes of Wisdom the game that you're talking about that had the Zelda dungeons you want, or are you saying
it kind of had classic Zelda dungeons, but not really? I'm saying that's like the last thing that was made that I can think of that could have done it. There was a Link's Awakening remake, and those dungeons count, but that was a remake, so anyone who already played that already knows it,
I don't know if I've even played the original Link's Awakening, or I don't know if I know what you're talking about, to be honest, now that I think about it.
Well, you don't have a Switch anymore, do you?
No.
I would say if you had a Switch, get the Link's Awakening remake because Link's Awakening is just one of the best fucking games ever made, and it is the one that definitively designed the Zelda dungeon formula. Like it started with Link to the Past for the Super Nintendo, but Link's Awakening is the one that really had the item that you find keyed to several puzzles throughout the dungeon and also to the boss itself. Like every single boss in Link's Awakening, you have to use the item to beat, and that was the first game to do that.
Okay.
And it is just a really, really, really satisfying experience. Every single dungeon is just so smartly designed to, like, you know, you get lost, it leads you to, like, some key areas, you gotta occasionally stop and think about stuff. It's good. It's so good. It's so tight.
I'll have to find a way to do that.
There was a recent Link's Awakening fan remake that I downloaded before Nintendo, ceased and desisted, where because one of the gimmicks of the Link's Awakening Switch remake is that it had it removed the screen transitions, like Zelda traditionally has like a screen, like a solid screen, and then you go to the edge and then it transitions to the next one, so they're like little separate areas. Link's Awakening for the Switch makes it all like one rambling open world kind of thing, and this one I found was a remake of the not GBA, but the Game Boy version, except they also made it open world, and they made it to the point where you could like zoom out, and you could just see the entire world, like the entire island of Link's Awakening, and you can play as like a tiny little micro ant playing the game from like the super zoomed out perspective, because it's just one gigantic open thing that's like running the entire game all at once. It's so fucking impressive.
That's really fun.
And completely impractical. Like, it's not fun to play that way, but it's neat.
Yeah, well, it's cool to look and see the whole map and be like, I need to be in this area.
You can't, I mean, if you could figure that out from a macro perspective.
I don't know.
Well, Zelda's all about, like, navigating, solving the little puzzles in front of you.
Yeah, well, if you're like, I need a bomb, I probably need to go where the Gorons are. That's the mountain.
Kind of, yes.
You know?
Where do you get bombs in Link's Awakening?
I don't know.
Do
Do they even have Gorons and Gerudos in there?
They don't.
Okay.
I'll give you a history of Zelda one day, but
today.
That's another thing. I've got a Metroid fixation. So I am not going to get Silksong myself until I beat Metroid Prime 2, which will probably be within a week or so. Mm-hmm. And then I will switch gears to Silksong, and then maybe play Metroid Prime 3 before Metroid Prime 4 comes out. As I mentioned before, I don't have a lot of faith in Metroid Prime 4.
I have no idea. I am not a Metroid man.
You can always ask questions.
What is the name of the main character?
All right. Well,
who are you?
Silksong.
Silksong.
I'm not. Are you done talking about it? Because I'm not done listening.
Oh, okay. I can keep going.
Yeah, tell me anything else that's interesting.
So, like, the theming, the movement, I love the way the movement has changed the game for me.
Okay.
Because in Hollow Knight, it's a lot of, like, you get a thing, and then that's sort of, like, a new ability, and that's just kind of how it feels. So, you get, like, the dash.
Yeah.
And then now you can dash, and then you get the double jump, and now you can double jump and dash. And it's, like, really basic, really simple. In this, what I like is you don't get a dash, you just get the run. The run becomes the dash, and they are so entwined that, like, when you get the run, you run, and then your ability to jump and then dash, they all combine, and it feels so fluid and nice when that all happens at once.
I'm not sure if the idea you're trying to describe is getting across. What's the significant difference between a run ability to run and jump and dash versus just getting a dash?
You can't. There are certain areas where you need to do the run first. You need to do the build-up of momentum in order for the dash that you do or the jump that you do to make enough movement or distance so that the dash can even work.
Okay, let me try asking a different way, or trying to guess what you mean. So the regular dash in Hollow Knight is literally just like you press a button, you gain functionality when you unlock the dash. Like, it almost feels like before you have the dash, you are being cut off. From your full toolkit. Whereas in this, like, the running is such a complicated, like, thing. It's because how's it does the dash work? Because you say you just press the button and you start running, but you say it's also your dash. What do you mean by that?
So when you're in the air, you can just use it to dash.
Okay, so it is a run on the ground and air dash button?
Yeah, and then you also need to jump at certain points when you're running. And the leaping off of the jump, that's another way to get more distance so that the dash works better.
Oh, I wish I needed a video demonstration. Though the more you describe stuff that I need to imagine and to play, the more I'm just gonna want to play the game. So this is building up hype for me.
Good. So what we'll do is we'll not do that too much because I don't want you to be like super hyped. I mean, like I'm already pretty hyped.
I'm pretty good at controlling my hype. Like the last time I was super hyped for anything was probably Dark Souls 3. Like I was super hyped for that, but like hype doesn't make the experience any better. You know what I mean?
Well, that's kind of my point, though. Is like because overhyping is a problem in my opinion.
Yeah, I also think it's a problem.
You know what a game I was super hyped for that I like took money out of my account at the time when I had no money to play?
What?
Watch Dogs.
Watch Dogs.
I just loved the idea. I thought it was gonna be really cool because it's a cool idea. Open world game like GTA. It's GTA, but you have hacking.
Yeah, you can hack anything.
You can hack anything. You can hack the world, literally. And I was like, that's going to be so cool. And then the hacking was just a fucking boring gimmick.
Time out. Have you seen the movie Hackers?
No.
Because that's where that comes from. Hack the world. Okay, so we need to see the movie Hackers.
It's fine.
It's you will love that movie.
I definitely will. I'm not disputing that.
So
I'm just
good.
saying like it's not like so important.
I'm just establishing that now. So, did you play Watch Dog 2 by chance? 'Cause a lot of people love that one way better than the first.
The first one is pretty butthole. I kind of tried playing Watch Dogs 2, but Watch Dogs 2 is so much like lamer, like in story and scope, because it's like just a bunch of fucking dweebs who are like, I'm gonna go and fight the system, which is like cool, but like they're lame.
I mean, I thought the main character from Watch Dog 1 was super lame.
He is. Well, he's like a fucking just a nobody. He's just a guy.
Yeah, but I hate that. I'm so fucking because he's just some boring. He is some boring adult white man with like a basic revenge story, if I'm remembering correctly.
Something like that. I think they killed his sister.
And, like I don't like. Because in Watch Dogs 2, I can't believe we're talking about Watch Dogs this episode. Watch Dogs 2, you play as like an anarchist group of kids, which I like. But then it's like, okay, but we're going to base them off their fucking modern Zoomers, and they're going to have like the stupid cat ear headphone things that is just signal for gamer girl.
I will totally agree with you that like they're more interesting than the main character of the last game.
Well, as a premise, they are more interesting. I will agree with you that they failed the execution. They became annoying.
But the one good thing about a really basic white guy is that you can ignore him.
If you're a white guy.
Yes, sure. I'll grant that. But like I was able to just forget I was even playing as a specific character and just play it like it's just a guy. Like it didn't fucking functionally matter that he was anything.
I don't want to talk about Watch Dogs.
Fair.
I do not want to talk about Watch Dogs. Besides the run, what else have you unlocked?
My main other attack, which is throwing a big needle that way.
Okay.
There isn't much to that, I don't think. I also have the ability to throw stuff, which is kind of cool. They introduced that, which is interesting. Is the throwing stuff is not a continual thing. It's ammo. I have ammunition.
Okay.
I can only throw like 30 things at a time, or like I think it's 12.
So she has missiles.
Kinda, yeah. But they're not like very good at the moment. I have to upgrade them. I have to get better ones. There's also another currency which is really weird, kinda.
Okay.
So there's beads, obviously. We're talking about that. That's the main one you get money from, used for money. And there's also shards, which you get from killing anything. It's like shards of shells.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what they're for, to be honest. I think that you can use them in place of certain other items. And I know that you can... Oh, okay. One thing I have to tell you about, but I'll get into a sec. I know that you give them to a guy so that he'll repair the main town that you kind of start in.
It's probably the main thing you use it for. I bet that expands greatly, because Dirtmouth was very popular in the original Hollow Knight.
There's a lot of, like... There's periods of time where I'll, like, notice that it's reduced out of the maximum I have at that moment. And I don't know why. So I'm not sure what that's about. The thing that one of the predictions and kind of woven into the prediction that I have and other mechanic that's really interesting are wishes. So in this game, you'll get quests, and the quests will be like go get moss berries is like one of the first ones. So you have to find the specific item that you can see. It's like a green thing. You find it, you get enough of them, and you give it to this person, and they give you something back.
Mm-hmm.
They don't call it a quest though. They call it a wish.
I love that.
Isn't it great?
Because you're literally granting people their wishes.
It's literally what you do, and that's the way that you give the dude your shards. You give him a bunch of them. You're granting him a wish. He's like, I need this many shards to build a bridge or something, and you're like, here you go.
I love when I love when the games frame it like that, where it makes you feel good, like you're helping people.
Well, my thing is, this is kind of working into my very loose prediction, and it should be noted, I am not into, like, Hollow Knight lore. I don't know the lore of Hollow Knight. You know it definitely better than I do on every level.
Yeah, and I've never even taken the time to learn it.
Exactly. So, for me, it's mostly gameplay. I did the same with Dark Souls. I barely know the Dark Souls lore. So, if there's immediately, like, this can't be the case for some reason, that's why. My theory is that this is the place Hornet is from, and that she's been brought back and was freed by the leader of this location in order to become a deity.
Okay. From what I know about Hollow Knight lore, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Like,
you're just right.
I haven't gotten... There's a lot
I don't know about the deity thing, but I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure she's, like, adopted in...
Or be deified, or be, like, the sacrifice or whatever.
Oh, that would be so good.
But that's my theory based off of the very intro area and the way that the wish thing feels so, like, to that end. And the fact that you can deny them is really weird.
What do you mean deny them?
They're optional. All of them are optional. You don't have to do them.
Okay, well, yeah, but that's true for, like, regular quests. You mean you can literally say, no, I'm not going to do that, and it, like, ends the quest?
I don't know. I've never rejected one.
I know where you're coming from. Well, that's a thing for me. Like, I hated how in Fallout 4 you couldn't just say no to people.
Yeah.
You were like, no, I don't want to do that quest. And it's like, okay, well, maybe if you change your mind, come back to me. And then you get the quest thing in your journal anyway.
Yeah.
So it's unavoidable.
Yeah, and it's like, it's really annoying. I don't want to talk about Fallout 4. That'd be a whole... you're opening a can that I'm closing.
The reason why it's called Starting Topic is because we talk about one big thing and that branches off into a bunch of other conversations.
I don't want to open that can right now, all right? I'm sorry. I just don't... No. It's not adding to my quest line. No.
Okay.
But yeah, the wish thing is really interesting to me. And I don't know what happens if you say no. It might just be like, oh, well, come back. It's probably that, but like...
It's probably going to be like a subtle thing for the ending where they have like a good or bad ending based on how many wishes you granted.
Well, my thought process, my worry is like, if I'm granting too many wishes, that will be... I feel like it'll add to like a boss fight later. It'll just be, this is now like a counter.
Oh my
How
goodness.
many wishes you granted, and it's either going to be a positive or a negative.
One of the reasons I've never fucking finished Sekiro is that horrible dragon rot mechanic.
I haven't finished Sekiro because I don't the way that I play Dark Souls games is I am an everyman. I change up my style like every 5 seconds, and Sekiro, you don't do that.
No, Sekiro, you're just good at the one system that they put in front of you.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know, in Sekiro it's got the system where if you die too many times, then it will randomly infect one of the NPCs in the game with dragon rot or something like that.
Okay.
And they become sick, and it might cut off their quest until they get better.
Okay.
And they might just die, and then the NPC dies without you having any control over that. Like, you know, in Dark Souls, you can just kill any NPC, and then it cuts them off from the rest of the game.
Yeah.
It's like that, except this happens from dying too much. There is a way to, like, fix it. There is, like, a system in place. Like, you get a cure from a character, and you've got to, like, gather materials and stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, the thing stresses me out so fucking bad. Because I am this completionist... I'm not a completionist gamer. I'm a perfectionist gamer. Like, I want to have all my content on the first try. I don't like having branching paths, because that means that I have to, like, choose one of those paths, and I want to always make sure I have the better one, you know?
Yeah, I'm a similar way.
And knowing that, like, if I'm just not good enough at Sekiro on my first playthrough, that I'm going to lose content from, like, the characters dying and stuff. And it's probably not that bad. It's never that bad, but it's stressful. And that's why I haven't beaten it.
If it helps you at all, the only thing that I know about Sekiro, because I know a person who will, like, beat that game within, like, an hour or something ridiculous. Yeah. It's not Mike.
I know. Mike is a Armored Core man.
Yeah. But if it helps you, it's a rhythm game. Sekiro is a rhythm game.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know that.
I didn't.
Well, what I need to get into my head is the Metroid speedrunning philosophy. It's like, okay, but actually playing through the whole game isn't as intimidating as you think. Because I hate how modern games are massive.
Yeah.
Like, fucking huge.
And then, like, the through line from beginning to end can actually be, like half of that, or, like, a quarter.
This is like I called Tears of the Kingdom shallow in the last episode, but it really is an advantage because its shallowness is one of the reasons why you can just take a break for years and then just jump back in and just go back to like wandering and finding fun things, and you never have to like restart. I have tried to play through Dragon Age or BioWare's Dragon Age so many fucking times. And I always just reach a point where it's like there's so many different like choices in the story that I want to have control over, and I hate not knowing stuff, and I'm honestly just following guides in order to play, and I'm not actually experiencing the game. So what's the point of this?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really been able to get too deep into games like that where you have a million choices and the goal and the idea is that you would play this over and over again.
Because I don't want to replay Dragon Age like 100 times. I get that a lot of people replay RPGs because of the different choices and they want to see all the different choices. But to me, like my first playthrough is like my canon playthrough.
I have the same problem. My buddy Zach has played through the Mass Effect games, each one like 10, 20 different times. I don't even know. He's gotten like he's 100% of them, which requires you to play it like literally 50 times, I think. I just can't do it. For me, I blame Fallout 3.
Yep.
When I first got we're talking about Fallout. When I first got Fallout 3, it was the coolest game in the world because I'd never played a game like an open world like that. I never did anything close. And I was having so much fun playing it. And I was going through the main story, and I was like, I'll just real quick, I'll beat the game, and then I will keep playing. I beat the game, and I didn't have the DLC, so I died, and I didn't get to continue playing the game.
Yeah, so one of the weirdest experiences I had was someone criticizing Breath of the Wild, specifically because you can't just beat the game and then keep playing in the world map from a state of after you beat the final boss. Like, it just resets you to before you beat the final boss.
Yeah.
And this was he was like, I don't like the game because of that. And I'm like, okay, but that doesn't matter. You can just beat the final boss. And it's like, no, they want it like modern open world games where it is a persistent world and your main quest is just one of the things you do. You know?
That isn't really what I'm like mainly talking about, because the thing is like when you, I don't know, when you beat Fallout 3 without the DLC, it just ends. Like, the credits roll. And I wanted to... I guess it is what I'm talking about.
You wanted to keep playing. You wanted to keep doing the persistent world. And you expected it to work that way, because that's how most open world games, especially since Fallout 3, have worked.
Yeah, well, everybody hated the way they did in Fallout 3.
And then they fixed it with a DLC, and then Nintendo just did the same thing, and people hated that, too.
I think my main difference is that the ending of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom is just the ending.
Yeah.
If I'm beating Ganon, the game's done.
Well, in Zelda, they make it very clear. It's like, you have one goal. We give it to you at the beginning of the game. You do this to beat the game.
Yeah.
Do anything else first if you want.
Yeah, that is my literal thought. Is like, I can't even imagine trying to bother doing any other thing if Ganon's alive in the game or dead in the. It just doesn't make sense to me. Fallout, though, it wasn't like that at all. The other problem with Fallout ending is that it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Well, we're not talking about Fallout, so we're not going to talk about it.
Are you sure? I can tell you the ending, at least.
No. There's no need to put, like, Fallout spoiler endings in our Silksong episode. We're not talking about Fallout.
I wouldn't even spoiler it, to be honest. It's not worth it. The ending of Fallout 3 is stupid.
Oh, shit. What were we talking about before we started talking about Fallout? God damn it.
We were talking about Silksong, I think.
Well, we definitely talked about Silksong, but what about Silksong I meant? Yeah, open world structures and stuff like that. Metroidvania structures.
So yeah,
linear versus non-linear games.
My theory is that she's like the daughter of someone here, and then they've brought her back. There's like you'll notice when you do end up playing it, there's a specific thing that happens, and you're like, that's interesting. Why is that happening? And then you'll realize it happened kind of at the beginning, and then you'll be like, okay. I don't know where it's gonna lead though. It could surprise me. I kind of hope it doesn't, to be honest, because like I don't think it needs to be special. I don't think the ending or the I shouldn't say the ending. I don't think the story of this needs to be like trying too hard. We don't need to Ryan Johnson this shit. Just do a straightforward story. I'm fine with that.
The reason why this style has, caught on, the Dark Souls storytelling style of not telling the story, is because it works really well for video games.
It's just perfect.
Like, you do not need it in order to continue playing the game. You don't need that as motivation. Like, what you are experiencing is seeing really cool worlds and talking to interesting characters and seeing really cool bosses and stuff like that. And there is an emotional story arc that you are experiencing through gameplay, the ludonarrative harmony, You don't need a straight up, we are going to tell you a story like this is a fucking book in order to motivate you. But there is this archaeological aspect where you can dig through it and find the story that way, and that works really well with gameplay because it's still a game, There's a gamification to the storytelling process.
It basically makes it so that you have a regular overworld game where you beat shit up and you hit them with a big needle, and then there's another game, there's a puzzle on the other side of this, this whole thing, where you can just read some stuff. And you can go through all the text and be like, I think I figured out exactly what happened.
There used to be a bigger argument between gamers who preferred story games and gamers that hated story in games, and the hated story in games side has just disappeared. They don't exist anymore.
What the fuck do you hate the story?
There's a lot of people who'd be like, I don't want you to fucking interrupt my game every 10 minutes to give me a dialogue box. Like, that was a big problem with Zelda, is, like, skipping through the fucking talking with the owl and everything. Like, back in the N64 era, there were people who legitimately wanted them to stop putting story in games. Stop it. That's not what games are. Games are about, cool action. I want to, kill a million spaceships in this shooter. I want to go around running in this fortress and shoot a bunch of guys in the face. I do not want you to interrupt me every 10 seconds to tell me a story.
There are points of that I would actually agree with. Like, I don't know if you ever played the Max Payne games.
I know about them, yeah.
The beginning of, I think, Max Payne 1 or 2 is just like it's like story, and you're right, cool. And then you walk into a room, and then story. Mm-hmm. And then you walk to the next room, and you kill a guy, and then story. That shit's fucking annoying.
That was a big thing. Like, back then, when that game was new, people were still bitching about stories as being a problem in games.
Yeah, but I don't think that I'm talking...
And they were always wrong, to be fair. No, to be fair, those people were always wrong.
I'm making, like, the point that, like, yeah, the way they told you the story is frustrating. But the fact that there's a story is, like, integral to the game.
That is, it's what made people shut the fuck up about it, is because developers got better at telling those stories.
Yeah, they started to grasp the medium better.
Like, let's just take Resident Evil 4 as an example. Like,
yeah.
The way it does, even the playable cutscenes, like, this is part of the storytelling part, but, like, integrating in that was huge for getting players, like, into the idea of, like, we can take a break from the regular gameplay loop and just watch this, and there's still an interactive element to it,
It also is so clear that it's about to happen. Every time that you're about to experience a thing, you're like, I know the moment I walk into that chapel, there's going to be a scene. I can just tell, because I'm done with everything up until this point. It just makes sense. And then you walk in, and there's a scene, and you get shot at by crossbows, and you jump, and you suplex a priest,
Yeah. You literally suplex a priest.
Resident Evil 4 is such a good game. The remake was whatever.
I didn't play the remake.
I liked it, but like the original's kind of better.
Like, Resident Evil 4 is a game where, like, low-key is up in the running for just most influential game ever made.
100%.
Like, it's definitely top 3. Like, it's sitting next to Super Mario Brothers, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, for sure. Because, like, it just created a character and a style, and yet somehow, against all odds, nobody has taken the companion mechanics in Resident Evil 4 and mimicked them, and I don't understand, because it's the best companion mechanic in any game.
It's weird how, like, companion mechanics keep on getting played around with and never figured out.
But they did.
Well, I would say it's not perfect, but
I guess
it is something that, like, I would call the Resident Evil 4, like, definitely, like, this works, and this is a proof of concept, and you can see how you can improve it, you can expand it, and nobody tried.
Well, they just kept making it worse. Like, every companion mechanic or companion quest in fucking World of Warcraft, which there are, terrible. It's just fucking terrible.
World of Warcraft?
Yeah, there's a lot of scenarios where you have to like have a person with you and they have to do a thing and you have to protect them.
Oh, do you play World of Warcraft?
I did.
I know Aiden used to play it a lot.
Aiden
still plays it
I'm pretty
a lot,
sure
I'm
Aiden
sure.
still plays it.
Okay.
Not as much because of the whole having a child thing, but he definitely was raiding with his father
That's
a
cool.
while ago. Yeah, it's one of the big ways he and his dad talk.
I was never a member of the MMO scene during its... Do you remember when MMOs were the
Yes.
big genre that every company was trying to make? There was military shooters and MMOs were the two sides of it. That was while I was in high school, I should say.
I was the one who's playing military shooters just because they were easier to get and they didn't require a subscription service. Trying to get my mom to sign up for World of Warcraft when I was like 15 was the most difficult thing ever. It literally wasn't until they sold time that I was able to actually play it.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, and then after that, I played it a bunch. I played it, and then I never really fully understood or experienced it in a real way. I had the unfortunate pleasure of getting to play with people who've already mastered the game, basically.
Uh-huh.
So they kind of just assumed I knew stuff when I didn't. I don't think I've ever actually done a raid.
No.
Ever.
Huh.
And I played like a lot of World of Warcraft. I did a bunch of dungeons, but like I didn't know what a raid was.
I mean, raid's just a giant dungeon with like a big group of like 20 players, right?
Yes and no. So yes, it is just effectively that. But the major difference is that they require a lot more communication and like
They are so difficult. They actually need 20 people, and in order to get 20 people to do a thing, that requires an entirely different skill set that no other type of video game asks you to do.
You can't socially like engineer anything in any like kind of game. It's MMOs exclusive, which is cool. But like one thing that really I tried doing a raid one time, and I went onto the raid finder, which I now recognize outwardly was a huge mistake. From both my perspective and Blizzard's, they should not have made raid finder.
No, they shouldn't have.
And then I was just standing around waiting for like 30 minutes for something to start, and then I was like, this is boring, and I turned the computer off and I went and did something else.
All right. Do we have anything else to talk about for Silksong?
I don't think so at the moment.
I've allowed that to waffle up in a bunch of different directions.
You have. And I appreciate that. Now, I suppose if you want, Ben, we could talk about Metroid.
Yeah.
Or,
okay.
No, I'm joking.
You caught me so off guard with that. Wait, so you don't have anything else to talk about?
No.
Okay. Oh my god.
You can have this if you need it.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be easier. So, surprise. I mentioned last week that I wanted to talk about Metroid, and I kept on thinking I'm gonna have like a big Metroid discussion where I bring Alex, who is the only other like old school Metroid obsessed fan that I know of.
I need to clarify this. Elijah is a big fan of Metroid. He wanted me to make sure I told you that.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well this is for you, Elijah. That makes me so happy, actually.
It's so funny that you're doing this and he's our one Spotify listener, so he won't see any of it.
Oh, don't worry. This is mostly the PowerPoint. I made a PowerPoint. The PowerPoint's mostly to keep me on track of like talking about it because there's so much I want to say.
Gotcha.
So I decide what I'm gonna do is we're gonna talk about all the games.
Every single one.
Eventually. So I'm not gonna dedicate this to like an every episode thing like UFO 50 because if I say in the spirit of Metroid, that means you have to put up with hiatuses. Okay, I might just do 3 games and then you're gonna have to wait 10 years, like I did.
Okay.
Like I did.
I think I'll be all right.
I also actually did a lot of research for this because I realized that if Alex is going to find this interesting without being a member of the discussion, then I would actually have to like talk about stuff that he didn't already know.
Gotcha.
And eventually, I want Alex to come on and talk about this. Maybe for the Super Metroid episode, maybe for the Zero Mission episode, maybe for the other M episode.
I'm sure he'll decide what episode he's gonna come in on.
The thing is that like me and Alex, sometimes when we get on the phone, we just talk about Metroid. And you wouldn't think we just talk about this like single player game that's been out. Like Metroid Dread is how old now?
I don't 5 years.
It's like
Dread?
Yeah, like Metroid Dread.
No.
Like,
that came out in like 2017, didn't it?
Well, the thing is that like we're just talking about Metroid, and we just keep talking about Metroid. You wouldn't think that there was that much to talk about Metroid, but me and Alex can just talk about Metroid.
Yeah, no, I would not have assumed that at all. to be honest. No.
Oh, you've never played Metroid, and now...
I played Metroid, one of them.
Well, my point is that I don't think I'm ever going to get you to be obsessed with Metroid like
No.
I am, but I do want you to understand that obsession, which is why I feel like this has to be a detail thing.
It was 2021.
2021. It's been 4 years now.
So yeah, no,
4 years since the last Metroid.
I am 100% down for this. I would love to learn more about Metroid. I am just making it clear now. There is almost nothing in this world that you will get me to be as obsessed with as you are about Metroid.
Oh, I know that. You were never... the goal was never to get you close to my level. My level is beyond that which humans can comprehend.
I don't know if there's anything that I can be obsessed with, even close to how obsessed with you are about this game.
So I've never even considered Metroid my favorite game series.
Really? That's what?
No, Zelda. I love Zelda. And it's easier being a Zelda fan because there's lots of Zelda games and they're really good and they're really recognized and they sell really well and they keep making spin-offs of Zelda and stuff like that. Metroid, it's been hard to be a Metroid fan.
I'm going to keep it a buck with you, champ. I think the Metroid's your favorite game.
Well, like I said, I go back to it in times of stress. We're living in some dark times in the year 2025, and Metroid is my comfort food. So anyway, let's begin. First Metroid, this is actually the only one that I'm not going to be insanely fucking excited about talking about. Every other one I'm going to be like, this is the best game ever made, and this is why I have to explain to you why it's the best game ever made.
Gotcha.
Metroid 1, not so much. Originally released in 1986. And the first person I'm going to introduce to you is Yoshio Sakamoto, Metroid's daddy.
I've heard of him.
So, I call him Metroid's father because he isn't Metroid's creator. I don't have a better term for it. He's just kind of like the steward of the series, so to speak. He has directed all the mainline Metroid games from Super Metroid onward, but he didn't direct Metroid 1 or 2. He didn't create the character Samus Aran. He didn't create Metroid.
Okay.
So, who did create Metroid? Well, the guy who usually gets the credit is Gunpei Yokoi, because he was the head of R&D 1. Like, a lot of times you'll Google it and it'll be like, Gunpei Yokoi. He is one of the coolest fucking people to have ever worked at Nintendo. He is so interesting as a figure in the game industry. I could have an entire discussion about him. There's been a lot of really good Did You Know gaming specials about him recently, about the history of like the Game Boy and stuff. But we're not going to get too into that.
I like his hair.
He does have good hair.
I mean, he also has a giant forehead, but that's like... the combination is what I'm into.
A weird thing I learned in Spanish class is that apparently white people have bigger foreheads than other races. Like a lot of Latinas who are trying to pass as white will like get surgery to like reduce their hairline.
Okay.
I don't know why. Just you reminded me of a thing.
I didn't know where that was going. This got weird.
He's Japanese. I don't even know why I brought it up.
I know.
I don't know where Japanese hairlines compare to white people, but white people bald quickly is all the point.
I know that like ancient Japanese samurai were pretty into going like full.
Yeah, with the top knot.
Yeah.
Okay, so next person who might get credit, we've got Satoru Okada, who was the guy who directed the first Metroid game.
Okay.
He also directed Kid Icarus, Solar Strikers, Super Mario Land. He became the head of R&D 1 after Yokoi's retirement after the Virtual Boy failure. But like this name never comes up when I'm like actually trying to learn about Metroid, and it doesn't seem like he was really involved beyond just being a coordinator director of like a studio team. He doesn't take credit for it at all.
Gotcha.
So
moving on. Why would we?
So I would say that the credit probably goes to these two guys, Makoto Kano and Hiroshi Kiyotake. Makoto Kano was the scenario writer. Hiroshi Kiyotake probably is the one who deserves the most credit. He was the lead artist at R&D 1 at the time.
Right, so he made Samus.
He literally did make Samus, but again, he doesn't really take credit for making Samus. You know who he takes credit for making? Wario.
I see that.
Like, he literally will... Like, his profile, I found his Twitter, and he has a big Wario W as his profile picture. Like, I created Wario. Because R&D 1 made the Super Mario Land and then the Wario Land games, and, like, yeah, he literally created this character for those games. So, originally it was a project by just Kiyotake and a fellow artist, Hirofume Masasuko. They were literally just told, make a game, without much, any direction beyond that. Yokoi said, if you can draw a picture, then you can make a game. Go ahead and make a game.
Gotcha.
So when they were trying to come up with ideas, their biggest inspiration was Super Mario Brothers, because it was this massive fucking hit. Super Mario Bros. Originally came out in 1983 in Japan, wouldn't come out until 1985 in the US.
Gotcha.
So they wanted to make a Mario-style game, and Kiyotake... Actually, I don't know which of the artists wanted to make it goopy, but the word goopy kept on coming up.
Okay.
They wanted to have a goopy aesthetic. That's why I have this picture of Norfair, so you can see the goopiness.
Goop.
That style is like really, really well remembered. Like you know the game Axiom Verge?
I've heard of it.
They go out of their way to make like the opening area look just like Norfair with like weird drooping like bubbles and stuff like that. It's very iconic.
Gotcha.
Another thing, early on, the screw attack was one of the first abilities that they came up with. This is a note for Alex because he loves the screw attack conceptually.
That's the one where Samus is like spinning, right? And with her legs.
She becomes like an electro ball when she jumps.
Okay, yeah.
So the screw attack was an early power-up. It was literally took inspiration from Mario's Power Star. They also briefly considered this as a licensed Alien game.
That would have been crazy.
A lot of the stories I heard was that Metroid was going to be an Alien game and they couldn't get the rights, so they came up with something different. From what I can tell, it's more like, no, we were thinking of things and Alien was an idea that was passed around. But yeah, Alien was... The xenomorphs in particular were the inspiration for Metroids.
I can imagine, yeah.
So, Kano is the one who writes the story. He writes this pulp sci-fi scenario in which the player takes the role of a cyborg space hunter, who is tasked with infiltrating a space pirate fortress on the planet of Zebes, destroying their biological weapons project, defeating their leader, Mother Brain. Kano and Kiyotake take numerous inspirations, primarily from manga, the most heavily pilfered being the series Space Cobra, about an eponymous bounty hunter with a laser cannon arm. I want to shout out to the YouTube channel A Critical Kate Willems for just having insane research on this subject. Like, literally the first person to ever go through, like, the inspirations for Metroid and brought up this, like, Space Cobra thing.
Make sure you send me them so I can put them in the description.
You got it. They're a small channel, too, so I want them to get more attention. Not that we're going to be the ones giving them a lot of attention.
No, they got to give us attention. Talk about us.
So the project for the game is called Space Hunter, after the lead character.
Right.
And I'm doing this parentheses thing because there's a lot of memes and discussions about whether Samus is actually a bounty hunter.
Okay, right.
Because she's historically been known as a bounty hunter to Metroid fans in the US since the beginning, but Nintendo's like, bounty hunter? No, she's like a hero.
Yeah, that's kind of... I've always been a little curious about that, because, like, bounty hunters aren't great. I mean, we got Boba Fett.
I want to be clear. The creators of the original Metroid, Samus is a bounty hunter.
Okay.
To Nintendo, moving onward, not necessarily, but to, like, the people who were there, to Yoshio Sakamoto, you know, the Metroid's daddy, Samus is a bounty hunter.
Okay.
But we'll
Fair
get
enough.
into that. So, fun fact. Nintendo would originally draw characters first as pixel art sprites without concept art. Drawn art would actually come afterward to be used for promotional materials in the game stuff. So, his name is Kiyotake, would make these pixel art sprites like drawing out on graph paper.
Right.
Like it came as sprite first, and that's why you have like really weird interpretations. Like this is from the U.S. manual, whereas this is from the Japanese manual. And just look at Ridley here.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy. I love this guy. Oh, we're pointing at the screen again. They can't even tell.
Well, no, we put the screen in front of it. Oh no, because our hand's gonna be behind it.
Yeah.
Damn, sorry. You know, we've got for our listener, we've got a image superimposed so you can see my PowerPoint presentation, and you're not gonna be able to see me point at anything. Damn, I'd never thought of that. Sorry about that, listeners. Anyway, so Yoshio Sakamoto, I mentioned at the beginning, he joins the project later as a game designer. At this point, Nintendo has converted Space Hunter and Kid Icarus projects into showcases for the Famicom Disk System, which I talked about last time.
Yep.
The game is behind schedule, and the entirety of R&D 1 is pulled to work on it now. They are also joined by uncredited developers from Intelligent Systems, who are the creators of the Fire Emblem series. Which is notable because, like, a lot of other Japanese companies, like HAL, would work with Nintendo uncredited in the early days, and it kind of blows my mind that...
that, like, you have giant swaths of people getting paid to do a thing, and none of them are getting any credit for, like, helping create one of those influential games of all time.
I mean, to be fair, back then, Japanese companies especially did not want to give game developers credit for the games they made. They didn't want their talent to be pilfered. So a lot of times, like, the credit screens would have a bunch of pseudonyms instead of their actual names. It is really annoying, and you actually have to go through and like figure out who everyone's pseudonym is to know who did what on old games.
That's kind of annoying.
So Yoshio Sakamoto stated that at the time of his joining the project, the state of the game was very not good.
Okay.
It was very buggy, didn't have much fun gameplay features yet. So, they started applying Yokoi's design philosophies in order to make this game, get it finished efficiently, under budget, under deadline, all that stuff. So, all proposed features must be easy to implement, solve multiple problems, and be fun to play with. Morph Ball. Easier to draw and reduces space needed compared to multiple crawling sprites. It's fun to roll around, and it becomes a way to access Samus's weapons. Bombs allow players to discover secret passages, attack small enemies, also allows additional movement options with bomb jumping. The Ice Beam was a ridiculously easy thing to implement, as all you do is just, change a little line of code to change the color of the enemy when they get hit, and freezes them, turns them into a platform. Like, from a coding perspective, so simple. But the ability dynamically transforms any enemy into a platform fundamentally changes the way players think about the game.
Yeah.
Like, literally any enemy becomes a platform in a platformer.
It becomes an entirely different, situation. Also, I want to clarify, I'm not yawning because Ben's boring. I'm yawning because I'm tired.
I am also pretty tired, listeners, just so you know. I'm hoping it turns into, manic energy instead. Am I doing this the right order? Yeah, okay. So, the alien antagonists that were once inspired by xenomorphs are named Metroids.
Yep.
A combination of the words Metro and Android. Why those two words? No reason, just sounds good. The game Space Hunter is renamed Metroid after the enemies because of their role in the story. And then the cybernetic Space Hunter is officially named Samus Aran by Hiroshi Kiyotake. Kiyotake is a huge soccer fan and named her after the Brazilian player Pele, whose real name Kiyotake mistakenly believed to be Samus Arantes do Nascimento. It's not. His first name is actually Edson, so it's Edson Arantes do Nascimento. No one knows why he thought his name was Samus, but he did, and that's why Samus is named Samus.
That's kind of funny.
Kiyotake just assumed that Nintendo was going to rename the character anyway, and they never did.
Oh, interesting.
And I also want to point out that it's pronounced Samus Aran, not Samus Aran, like you'll hear a lot of people mispronounce on YouTube, because Pele's name is Arantes. That's why they make the mistake, but it's not pronounced that way.
Gotcha.
So, it was very late in the project that a team member joked that it would be really cool if at the end of the game Samus removed their armor and it turned out that they were a woman all along.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that nobody remembers who did this.
Oh,
Nobody takes credit to it to this day. The idea that Samus is a woman, one of the most iconic decisions in video game history,
Literally.
nobody takes credit for.
That's really interesting. So they have no idea who was like, I'm gonna bring gender to the forefront of video gaming and make it an actual considerable issue.
Well,
that was just some guy.
It was just a joke suggestion. Like, they never were taking it that seriously at that point. And I also want to point out, it's not the first time it was done. It's not like Samus is the first female protagonist.
No.
And even if you take... So, Namco made a game called Baraduke. You ever hear of it?
Nope.
You play as a space bounty hunter. You go through a bunch of ships. It's an arcade game. It's not a Metroidvania.
Gotcha.
But guess what happens at the end? You take off your space armor, and it's a woman.
Oh.
It's literally the same thing done before Nintendo did it. But nobody remembers Baraduke because that game isn't that good.
No, Metroid's good.
Well, Namco made a lot of really good games back then. And, Baraduke being compared to, Dig Dug, nobody cares.
No.
Being compared to Pac-Man, nobody cares. Anyway. So, it is first released in August of 1986 in Japan, before its US version would come out the following August 1987, literally weeks apart from Zelda's release. Originally, because it was designed for the Famicom Disk System, it was going to be played on floppy disks, and it originally had the ability to save your progress. The US version was converted for cartridges with expanded memory chips and has a password system to save it instead. The US version is noticeably laggier than the Japanese version, and because the NES lacks the Famicom Disk System's wavetable sound channel, several of the music tracks were also simplified. Both Zelda and Metroid would have a few tracks that are just really, really impressive for the hardware. And they have to remove channels of sound effects. They'll have the backing bells removed or something like that.
Gotcha.
This is a tragedy because Metroid has one of the best soundtracks on the NES, in my opinion. I think it's better than Zelda 1 and 2. I think it gets beaten by the Castlevania games.
Well, Symphony of the Night.
Symphony of the Night was for the PlayStation. Come on now. Go back in time. I'm talking about Castlevania 1, 2, and 3.
I refuse to.
The soundtracks were already fucking incredible for those games. Already. Just some of the best in the fucking industry. Anyway, so Hirozoku Chip Tanaka is the guy who does the sound. He actually just did a recent interview for Metroid's last anniversary where he revealed that the ending theme was literally him flexing.
Oh, yeah?
Like, it was like, this is me. I want to show off to another developer just what I can do with, like, the FDS sound hardware. And, yeah, it's tragic that it didn't make it into the US version. Though, the US version did include the ability to play as Samus without her armor and a New Game Plus feature, which was not in the original.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And Samus might not be the very first female hero, but this is the very first New Game Plus feature of any game. So that's cool. The game is much, much, much better received in the US than it is Japan. It sells way better in the US than Japan. Despite its issues? Yeah, despite all those issues, it is very well received. I didn't include it, but I did a lot of research in, like, ongoing reception. I went through a bunch of Nintendo Power catalogs and looked at their game rankings.
Yeah.
And, like, for the first 3 months, which would have been 2 years or so after Metroid released, Metroid was number 3 in their rankings.
Gotcha.
Zelda was 1, and 2 was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, because that game was fucking incredible, but also brand new when Nintendo Power started. So yeah, it was very, very well received for a long time. I also found a lot of fan letters to Nintendo Power talking about Metroid and how great designed it was.
Oh, that's so cute.
But in that same vein, when I followed it for like years and years and years, Metroid fell off. Whereas Zelda 1 stayed persistent for years in a way that I actually found really shocking. But we're not talking about that game. Next slide. I have to hit the next slide. I don't know why I told you to do that. So
you're the slide guy.
So, should you play the first Metroid? No.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe. Okay, I'm going to compare it to both Zelda and Super Mario Brothers, because in terms of design and, like, reception, you can see where they, where it meets in the middle.
Right.
Zelda has aged really well, I think. And I think it is very playable today by modern gamers. Like, if they actually tried, maybe, took some notes as they played, they could have a very fun time playing Zelda 1 without needing, like, big walkthroughs or anything like that.
Gotcha.
Super Mario Brothers has aged fucking flawlessly.
Of course, yeah.
Like, people still play it today, and Nintendo still re-releases it. Like, Nintendo 35 was just them selling Super Mario Brothers 1 again.
Yep.
Metroid has aged worse than both of those games. I wouldn't recommend it to modern gamers. I still consider it essential to Metroid fans, but it's buggy and plays awkwardly. And, yeah. Most of the things that fans love about the Metroid series did start in the first game, though. That's kind of what I want to talk about later. So, Metroid and Zelda feel like two different takes on the same concept, an action-driven interpretation of the role-playing game genre. Zelda is a rambling open world filled with secrets where players can use their own combination of tools and techniques to advance. It is literally the first ever sandbox-style game.
Yeah,
that
I knew.
Metroid retains core aspects of RPGs like exploration and character progression, but remove the most overt elements. Samus has no inventory management, stat growth, or even subscreens to sort through, so it all plays like a streamlined action game. Metroid still manages to be just as complex and expansive as Zelda by giving Samus a massive world to explore, and also turning her body into both a weapon and a tool. Essentially, Metroid takes key ideas like exploration, skill growth, and the acquiring of new gear to increase your power, and sets itself apart from other action RPGs by making all those mechanisms the same thing. As you explore Metroid, you grow in power by collecting gear, upgrades, and you gain upgrades, your ability to explore also improves. It's a simple feedback loop in which many consider to be the core of the Metroidvania genre.
Yeah. So,
Metroid plays less like an imitation of Mario more than a deconstruction of it. Rather than looking at Metroid like a stripped-down RPG, you can also just look at it as an athletic platformer expanded to its most intricate extreme. While other platformers following the success of Mario would copy its premise of running towards the right side of the screen, Metroid subverts it right away by forcing you to go to the left to get an essential power-up in order to make progress. Samus's power-ups aren't temporary like Mario, and instead contribute to Samus' ever-growing tool and weapon kit. Mario's greatest upgrade is the Power Star, which temporarily grants them invulnerability and allows them to kill enemies by touching them. Conversely, Samus' strongest power-up, the Screw Attack, does the same thing, but activates anytime she performs a spin jump and is retained until the end of the game. Like many action games, a huge part of the experience is growing as a player and improving through practice and repetition, but Metroid combines and enhances this with character growth as well. As Samus grows, the player gains access to a bigger toolkit to master the use of. Any questions?
I mean, I think you're doing a pretty good job of going through the deconstruction here, to be honest. I have one point I will be making, but I think I can wait on that at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, hold it in your thoughts.
Yep.
So, ultimately, Mario and Zelda still beat out Metroid today, mostly due to Metroid's technical shortcomings.
Yeah.
Metroid platforming is more technical than Mario. It's got 2 different types of jumps. It's got morph ball maneuvers, damage boosting. Mario just feels better to play. Like, that was a big thing. Like, you remember the story of Mario 64? How they, like, just spent all this time crafting Mario's, like, moveset before they made any levels?
Yeah, because they wanted him to feel good, and it worked so well. Mario 64, to this day, on the worst controller ever made, still feels amazing.
Well, it's the same thing with Mario 1. They made sure that Mario felt really good to play.
Yeah.
And Metroid doesn't feel good to inherently good. Like, it is a cool toolkit to master. Like, you can feel good in that, like, you can get really good at it. But you can't just pick it up and just start moving around and be like, ooh, this is fun. It's not like that. Metroid feels less rewarding to explore than Zelda due to its very repetitive level layouts and inexplicable secret passages. Most damning, it's its lack of a reliable healing system, which makes dying or even taking a break extremely fucking punishing. So every session of Metroid begins with a very tedious grind of health pickups, since Samus defaults back to 30 health, regardless of the number of energy tanks you acquired. Her default starting health is 100, not 30, but you start at 30 anyway.
That's dumb.
It is really dumb. So the same thing happens in Zelda. You always start with 3 hearts, even if you've got like 20. But Zelda has fairy fountains, where if you know where the fairy fountain is, you just start the game, go to the fairy fountain, get fully healed, and then start playing.
Yeah.
Metroid is like, okay, we'll shoot enemies and grab health orbs that give you either 5 or 30 health until you get back to full health. They don't always drop. Sometimes they drop missiles instead,
So
even if you have full missiles.
You gotta like really try and grind a lot and take a lot of risk for the beginning.
It's the reason why I'm like, new people who have never played Metroid, people who don't play old games, don't bother.
Yeah.
You're not going to have fun grinding for health all the time. It is what ruins the game. So, Metroid's ambition is still obvious to see. It stands as proof of concept that's waiting to be refined, and ultimately will be achieved by Super Metroid, but even before that, games like Zelda 2 can be seen as an evolution of ideas that Metroid pioneered. So, now I actually want to talk about what Metroid does really well, like the first Metroid does.
Sure.
Atmosphere. One of Metroid's most praised design choices are its simple black backgrounds, which cast planet Zebes in a perpetual darkness. The total lack of friendly NPCs makes the experience incredibly lonely and isolating, while the maze-like level design and frequent use of claustrophobic passages can be very anxiety-inducing as players delve deeper and deeper and deeper and get more and more lost in the game. Even from the start, Metroid had an intoxicatingly spooky atmosphere.
Yeah.
Then we've got our immersion and environmental storytelling. So, compared to many game worlds at the time, Zebes feels like a real place. I mean, kind of. It's an NES game.
Sure.
While every creature on the planet may be out to kill Samus, they do so in ways that resemble animals hunting in their natural habitats. In Mario, a Goomba walks towards you.
Yep.
A Koopa walks towards you.
A guy throws a hammer.
A guy walks back and forth and throws hammers.
Yeah.
In Metroid, bat-like screes hang from cave ceilings and dive bomb prey wandering below. Arthropods like Gamets and Zebos swarm endlessly to defend their hives while Samus approaches them. Even the Metroid equivalent to Goombas, the sidewalking Gamers, resemble small scavenging animals as they scuttle across cavern floors. The rocky caverns of Brinstar are made up of long stretches of tunnels and shafts that are easy to navigate, while the fiery caverns of Norfair are incredibly dense and layered in their layout. Not to mention thick, with bizarre alien fungi that creates Metroid's signature goopy appearance. Love the goopy.
I like the way you said thick.
Thick. Both Kraid and Ridley make their hideouts in ancient alien ruins buried in the depths of Zebes, but Kraid hides in this complex labyrinth of mirrored rooms and secret passages, while Ridley hides at the end of a straightforward gauntlet guarded by the strongest, most dangerous creatures from Norfair. I included, like, the map, like someone's homemade maps of it.
Sure.
So you can see how, like, Brinstar is like these long tunnels and Norfair is like this super dense area of, like, secret passages.
Yeah.
It feels very different as you're playing, and you can, it's that storytelling emotional thing.
Well, they're also, like, two diametrically opposing characters, right? Or Ridley wants you to fight him, basically.
Yeah, and how that is expressed through the level layout, I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So, another thing I want to praise about Metroid is just the final level. The climax of the game, the Space Pirate Fortress of Turian, is fucking great. It works because Metroids are really fucking terrifying.
Right.
They are incredibly fast. They are totally indestructible. They can drain Samus's life in an instant, and if you don't know the secret ways to get them off you or to kill them, you're fucked. I love them. I love Metroids. The final encounter with Mother Brain is also awesome. It's more like a stage than a traditional boss. Like, you just go into this room and all of these things are like shooting at you, and you've got like things attacking you from all angles.
Yeah.
And you have to just slowly make forward and just like destroy all the barriers in front of you in order to like actually beat her. The final timed escape sequence is iconic. It has become a tradition throughout the entire series. So, what else is good about Metroid? Speedrunning. Right from the start. Speedrunning was not a popular hobby until 1993. This game came out in 1986.
Oh, okay.
Any kid who's heard the rumor that if you beat Metroid fast enough, turns out that Samus is a hot babe, has definitely tried speedrunning Metroid, though.
Yeah.
Metroid for NES might actually be the first game to have been a speedrun. Like, it's the first game I can find that has any sort of timed-based incentives, meaning it is the first speedrunning game.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I just couldn't find any earlier examples. So all Metroid titles are essentially 2 games. There is your first playthrough, and then there is the speedrun. For first Metroid, the first playthrough involves a lot of, starting sessions with grinding for health, making maps while you're exploring, discovering power-ups, eventually defeating the bosses and going to Torian and beating the game,
Yeah.
Speedrunning, though, means committing to beating the game in a single session without dying. With a complete set of maps showing the upgrade locations isn't that hard. Like, it is challenging, but it's really not that infeasible. It's actually, in many ways, easier than your first playthrough. The healing problem doesn't actually affect speedruns, because energy tanks, which you use to expand your max health, they fully heal you when you grab them. So you just route them into your route through the game.
Yeah, so that's
You're like,
part of it.
okay, after I beat Kraid, I'm going to grab an energy tank and fully heal and then keep going. Routing is the best part of speedrunning Metroid. As you practice and you get better, the route you take through the game changes. You might reverse the boss order, skip major items, even skip the bosses entirely. High jump, Vario suit, screw attack, they're all useful, they're all extremely powerful, but they aren't actually necessary. What is necessary is a huge reserve of missiles you need to take on Torian. And because the bosses, Kraid and Ridley, give you 75, you might still fight the bosses even though you don't need to. So, Metroid becomes an evolving experience the more you play it. I can currently beat this game in under 3 hours while I still collect most of the major items and I fight both bosses. The world record, as of time of making this PowerPoint, is at 14 minutes 51 seconds and skips all major items except for Morph Bomb and Ice, and they only beat Kraid for the missile reward.
Damn, okay. This also explains a lot as to why you're so into speedrunning from my perspective.
Yeah, no, Metroid is the speedrunning series.
Like, I know you said that, but I didn't know that there was a legitimate, incentive to beating the game faster.
Well, so I talked about, branching choices in story games and RPGs.
Yeah.
But you kind of have that in Metroid, in that, the better you get at it, your route is changing. You're going to keep on replaying this game over and over and over again, and that experience is going to be changing. But it's based on your skill level as you keep practicing, and I love that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
All right, legacy and lore. I'm going to talk a little bit about the story of Metroid, because when I first got really into Metroid as a fan, it was from a lore perspective.
Sure.
And being a Metroid lore fan was weird in the early 2000s.
I can imagine.
So Metroid doesn't really tell you the story.
No.
There is no characters that talk in the game. You almost never have any dialogue things, any exposition at all. It is just pure action gameplay. You have your manual, which gives you the premise of the game, and that's it. This is true for most of the Metroid games for a while. Mm-hmm. And Metroid lore fans would mostly get the story from supplementary materials. What I'm saying is, you know how crazy Dark Souls fans are at, reading millions of item descriptions and, trying to cross-reference,
you had to
all
do
that
that
stuff?
in real life.
It turned it into an alternate reality game.
Yeah.
It was like the I Love Bees experience going into Halo 2, you know?
Sure.
God, I'm so fucking old. So, Metroid fans prioritize lore as so. Anything from the game is canon. When there's contradictions, newer games override older ones.
Yep.
Game manuals tend to have the bulk of backstory, but they're sometimes contradicted. For instance, the first manual of Metroid 1 continually refers to Samus as he, when obviously she isn't. Official promotional material like Nintendo Power and info from other Nintendo games like Smash Brothers is typically considered canon but less reliable.
Gotcha.
Manga and other spin-off media is usually non-canon, but they're often referenced as ways to fill in the gaps. Mm-hmm. you gotta understand, a lot of the lore is fan-constructed, and it's mostly based on vibes.
Gotcha.
You would get feelings during the game to be like, okay, well, in Super Metroid, Ridley seems like a big deal. He's not just one of the 4 bosses. He seems like a really big deal. What if he's more important in the story? And then years later, a fucking a trophy description in Super Smash Bros. Melee will be like, Ridley killed Samus's parents.
And you're like, what?
What? I knew it. I knew he was important, you know?
Yeah.
That was the fun. That was the fun of being a Metroid lore fiend. All right, this picture I love. This is from the once considered never made Metroid TV series back in the 80s. Here is John Metroid, hero of Nintendo's Metroid. Sorry, Elijah, you don't get to see this. You gotta find this on YouTube. All right, so lore established from the original Metroid game that has yet to be contradicted. Yet to be contradicted, I say, because they literally remade Metroid as Metroid Zero Mission, and there are little details that changed. So this is the stuff that is canon. In the future, Earth and several other alien species form a trade union called the Galactic Federation. Coalition of aliens self-applying the label Space Pirates declare war on the Federation, begin attacking their ships. The Galactic Federation police are formed to counter the pirate threat, but they prove to be ineffective. The Federation resorts to hiring free agents to act as mercenaries and bounty hunters to help combat the space pirates. This is from the original manual. The original manual calls them space hunters, not bounty hunters. Sorry, thank you. Mm-hmm. Sorry, listeners, if you're not hearing me rant like a crazy person.
Continue. Don't have to dress it, just continue.
Oh. On the mysterious and newly discovered planet SR-388, a new life form is discovered. It is named Metroid, and it is discovered that exposing it to beta rays for 24 hours causes it to rapidly multiply, reproducing asexually. The cool. Metroid is capable of draining the life of any creature it attacks and is deemed to be incredibly dangerous. Researchers theorize that it might be involved in the downfall of the civilization whose ruins are left on SR-388. Unfortunately, the pirates attack and steal the Metroid. The Metroid is taken to the space pirate fortress of Torian on the planet Zebes. Federation police repeatedly attempt to breach the fortress but continually fail. Eventually, Samus or Aran, cyborg bounty hunter and Federation's most notorious mercenary agent, is hired to infiltrate Zebes, assassinate space pirate leadership, and destroy any and all Metroids that the pirates have cloned. In order to breach Torian, 2 keys are guarded by the top space pirate enforcers, Kraid and Ridley, who are both hiding out in ancient ruins located on Zebes.
Gotcha.
Ridley is described as being a member of the original life forms that inhabited Zebes. And this is a weird detail that I bring up because it's something that's in the original Metroid manual and has not come up again since.
Right.
But has also not been contradicted. And technically, like, you can see evidence of it in Super Metroid because there's, like, statues of Ridley all over, like, deep areas of Zebes.
Okay.
But we don't know if that's just because Ridley is super into himself and just had them build, like, statues of him, or if it's, like, from this, like, lore thing. Do you understand where I'm coming at from Metroid lore stuff?
I do. I understand.
The ruins of Zebes have statues of bird-like race holding artifacts that Samus can use grow stronger. This is not clarified yet, but this is already established in the first Metroid game. Samus is established as a famous and accomplished warrior, but is repeatedly referred to as with masculine pronouns, and at the end of the game, it is revealed that Samus is a woman. Also, Samus is gay.
Okay. Is that for sure, or just, like, your theory?
Well, it's like this. It's like the Ridley thing. It has yet to be contradicted. So this shot is the reason why people say that Samus is gay, and this comes from the official guide in Japan. It was like a manga where you read the manga, and it would also have, like, hints in the game, and it would cut the maps and stuff. But also, it referred to Samus as a guy the entire time, so maybe they just didn't know.
It's Japanese. It's probably not gay, but, like, you know.
So I don't have, like, that's where it ends.
Okay,
I didn't continue the PowerPoint from there because I didn't want it to be way too long. But when I talk about Metroid 2, I'm going to be a lot more enthusiastic about it.
God, well, you're pretty enthusiastic about this. I mean, this is the intro to, like, one of your favorite games of all time. Yeah. Well, not this game, but the one of the game series.
You're starting to understand the way different game design ideas appeal. I actually think that, like, Metroid appeals to game designers, if that makes any sense, because it is very puzzle-like in its design, you know? It's very thought-provoking in its design. It's like there is a conversation being had between the designer and the player, trying to, like, teach them certain ideas and guide them in certain ways and, like, you know, expose them to different ideas. I can get into it. But eventually, I'm gonna have the Alex come on and talk about this. And I think he's gonna want to talk about Super Metroid.
Maybe I just won't be here for that episode.
You won't be here.
I'll just have you guys set up.
I need you to set up all the technical stuff. I'm useless.
I'll be the producer. I'll just be there, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm gonna go to my little chair, my little off chair in the corner.
I also did speedrun the first Metroid several times this week. That was very satisfying.
Dope. Okay. Unfortunately, we have to be ending like right now.
Yeah, we are way over time.
We're not technically overtime, but we're getting there.
If we take 5 minutes, I don't think they're gonna kick us out of the studio.
No, especially not with our producer being here today. Our executive producer.
Shout out Max, thank you for helping us get our sound working.
All right, so that's the episode. I realized I had a little more to talk about some stuff, but we can talk about it next week.
You sure we can?
That's not like huge. I also forgot a lot of it.
Sorry about that.
That's not your fault.
I am looking forward to talking about game design, Metroidvanias, and Metroid in the future. But listeners, don't expect this to be an every episode thing.
Yeah, it'll probably be like every other, I'm guessing.
Like, I think I might take a break after Super Metroid and like recreate those hiatuses.
What I might do, because I'm pretty sure the one Metroid game I have played is Super Metroid. I might just replay that before you do that one.
Maybe.
And then I'll just be able to give more thoughts. But yeah, we're strapped for time, so we're gonna say goodbye.
One of the more interesting things I would get into is the Metroid community, because I was there.
It's okay.
I am a first-party source, a first-hand source on that stuff.
Bye.
I want to keep talking.
I know you want to keep talking, but we have to stop now.
Bye, listeners.
Also, you have to do all the stuff now.
Oh, I have to do this stuff. What do I have to press?
Just.
Is it this one?
Yes, it's that one.
All right, bye, listeners.